Hi, welcome to this quick how to help video on solving quadratic inequalities. Now, this video assumes that you are already secure with your factorizing, so there won't be any detail given about the factorizing step of this method. If it is something that you feel you need to do a little bit more work on, then within this playlist, we've got videos on how to factorize. We're going to do this as a less than, this as a greater than, and this one, which is slightly different, is going to be represented on a number line. The first one, x squared minus 7x minus 8 being less than 0. The first thing to do is to not panic about the sign. In fact, we're going to completely ignore it and we're going to act like it's a normal factorizing question. So we would factorize this and get our solutions. At this stage, we are adding in new knowledge. We're going to draw or sketch the graph of x squared minus 7x minus 8. Now, I use the term sketch very loosely. We're really just going to put a representation of what it could look like. I know it crosses the x-axis at -1, and I know it crosses at 8. And I'm really not doing anything more than that. That just assists me. It helps me see clearly what part of the quadratic I'm going to need to answer the question. We have a less than, which means we will be under the x-axis. When you graph a quadratic, you get y equals x squared. When y is equal to 0, you have the x-axis. When y is less than 0, you would be in the -1, -2, -3. You will be in this section of the graph. So the solution set would be, so a greater one, before we move on to the greater than question, the greater than would be above, because again, if y was going to be greater than 0, it would be above the x-axis where all the y values are greater. So let's take a look at the second question that's going to show how that works clearly. So we've got 2x squared plus 7x plus 6 being greater than 0. We're going to factorize in the normal way and go on to give us the solutions -3/2. Let's get that a bit clearer. And x equals -2. Now, those two numbers are quite close. When we do our sketch, it's really important that we know which way round to put them, okay? Make sure you put the smallest number first and then the other one, which I haven't given myself enough room to do, further up the line. Now, this is greater than, so I'm only interested in above. And you can see we don't have one complete smooth line. We have two sections of the graph, so they need to be described separately. Now, in order for us to see this clearly, I'm just going to do an exaggerated quadratic, not in keeping necessarily with this question. If you are here, all the x values are getting smaller. In our question, when we're on this side, our x values would be getting smaller than -2. So the first solution is x is less than -2. Equally, these are all getting greater than that point. So in our question, at this point here, x is getting greater. So x is greater than -3/2. Last question, we have 2x squared plus 9x being less than or equal to 0. I only have two terms, so this will factorize into one bracket like so. My x is equal to 0. My x is equal to -9/2. Check in with the graph. It is a less than, so we know it is continuous, but we are putting this on a number line. So we create our number line. In the exam, they generally give you your number line. It can equal, so we colour in our circles, and we join it up. If it had been greater than, we'd have just gone off in opposite directions. Okay, I hope you have found this a useful recap of how to do quadratic inequalities. If you've liked this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for using Target Maths.